All right, Higgy verse 75 hard type, 75,000 followers. Follower count on Instagram still sitting around 10.2 thousand. TikTok, I'm sitting at like 658 or something like that, 639. YouTube, I've only got 5 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. But yeah, did a little leg day today. Didn't go full throttle on leg day because I learned the first time I did 75 hard that ripping off the band-aid and just going back to my normal leg day weight will make it so that I walk like a baby giraffe the rest of the week. And like the first time I did it, I was barely able to do my outside rucks, especially where I was living at the time. You know, it's in the middle of nowhere. It was all gravel roads. I probably rolled my ankle 3 or 4 times per walk. And I'm sure that the neighbors that I walked by probably thought I was like on drugs or something like that, the way I was walking. But yeah, feeling good today, feeling lean today. This shirt, when I put it on, felt a little loose, felt a little tight in the shoulders, which is awesome. My goal weight on this, I mean, I'd like to get as close to 200 as humanly possible. That's about 35 pounds down from where I'm currently at today. Weighted at 235, but I don't know if that's accurate because yesterday I was at 239. Sometimes those at-home scales, if you move them an inch, they give you a completely different reading. So we'll wait till we get like a DEXA scan to get the real weight of where I'm at. Going to try to get that done this week, but later today I'll pick up where I left off, kind of on my life story, what led me up to today. Yesterday's video, we talked about what led me to signing myself up for that program, the military school for at-risk youth. Yeah, now we're going to go home. We're going to got to send a couple emails, and then we're going to go put that fucking weighted vest on, do a little Delta fart walk. Ankle today is I swear the gout that I was dealing with in my right foot / ankle has caused some permanent damage, what's seeming like permanent damage in like around the tendons in my ankle. Because I mean, every day I still wake up and it's sore, and it feels like I rolled it. So I guess I'm trying to do better warming it up, getting it moving. Gonna just ice it later. It's a pain in the ass, but every time I do 75 hard, I never get gout. So I've narrowed it down to like beer is the absolute reason that I do get gout, because I did that 30-day fast, and I got gout because my body was breaking down too much muscle. But then after I finished, like a few weeks after I finished, I went to the mountains with some buddies, and we were drinking beer. And as soon as I got back from that trip, gout flared back up. But I thought back to like all the other times I've gotten gout, and it's usually around a time of drinking beer. But now that I'm doing 75 hard, can't drink while you're doing that. So hopefully that'll give me a nice little break. Just going to keep chugging water and hope that I can flush out whatever's remaining. Because obviously having a sore ankle makes things difficult. But, I like things the difficult way. I'm all about doing things the hard way. Like Cam Hanes said, easy sucks. Yeah, we'll check in with you guys back around lunchtime, and let's get it. Here on my ruck, got the weighted vest on, repping the Edley's barbecue. Wanted to pick up where I left off with the storytelling. So, OICP, Oregon Youth Challenge Program, went through 5.5 months of that. Came back looking great. I'll throw some pictures on the screen of how I was looking. I mean, it's probably the best shape of my life I've ever been in. But came back. Oh, fuck. Sorry about that. Came back, and then drugs had kind of swept through my friend group pretty bad. More specifically, heroin. And I was toughing it out. And it was like, I'm staying away from that stuff. I was still being pretty active. I got a job at a pizza shop, but I got my wisdom teeth pulled going into my senior year of high school. And my stepmom at the time wouldn't let me go back with my painkillers because she suspected people were doing drugs. And so I was like, I'm fresh out of military school. I'm all macho. I'll tough it out. I was just taking a bunch of like Tylenol and shit. And I ended up not eating or sleeping for like 2 days. I was like, heroin, natural opiate, painkiller, whatever. I'll just do it 1 or 2 times. And then that was basically the end of it. And that's what kicked off a year-long heroin addiction that got all the way up to me doing like an 8-ball a day. Yeah, it was probably one of the worst times of my life. And then, within that, there's a couple rounds of being homeless, couch surfing, doing all that shit. And I remember went to rehab twice. First time I was kind of forced into it. Came back, was good for like a month, and then relapsed. And then second time, I kind of just woke up and I was like, I just went through fucking 5.5 months of military school, come back and do this shit. And so one of my brothers was going to rehab, and I ended up going like, I want to go too. Let's do this. Got out, was clean, but then I got arrested for selling drugs. Basically, my brother was selling drugs. I made a delivery to this dude who set him up, and it was a whole crock of shit. So then I went to jail for another 5.5 months, which was ridiculous because I was just waiting to go to trial. Court-appointed attorney, not the best situation. He didn't really do much to help my case. He tried to get me to take a plea deal originally for like 27 months for my first offense. And I was like, that's kind of ridiculous. But it was in jail that I kind of took a look around, and there was people in there, their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th time. They're 50 plus years old, and they're proud of how often they've been to jail. Like they wear it like a badge of honor. And to me, I was like, dude, you got fucking grandkids. That's a fucking weird thing to idolize. And so from that point on, I was like, okay, I don't fuck with any of this. So when I did get out, I deleted all my social media, got a new phone number, new email, started over from scratch, moved into a sober living house where I was paying literally $300 a month to live in a fucking garage with like 2 other dudes. It was ridiculous. And then eventually moved into the house. But I started just, really vetting the people in my life that like weren't going to help push me forward or like just even be a good influence. And then, once I realized probably not going to be able to go to college, I decided to start building a resume. A buddy of mine got me an interview for a mattress retailer in Oregon called Bedmart. Started off there as basically a sales bitch, where I was just helping the salespeople write up their orders and do all their busy work and shit. Ended up getting to the point where I was a sales associate, got my own store, started selling mattresses. And the thing is, I was like 20, 21 years old. As long as you care a little bit about what you're doing for work, you could excel in sales, and especially in a retail sales environment. But quickly grew the ranks there. And I kind of learned a lot about myself, because you're in a mattress store 10 hours a day. That's a lot of alone time. That's when I really, I was doing good with my weight management and stuff like that. But also one of the things I learned about addiction. Another thing on the addiction part. When I went to rehab, they gave me Suboxone. And I think Suboxone is just as fucking bad as the actual thing. And so I did it for about 2 weeks, and I just stopped taking it because I felt like the withdrawals from that were way worse than opiate withdrawals. So stopped doing that. Another thing I also learned is that any addiction, but also more specifically opiates and alcohol addictions, attack your testosterone centers. That's one of the things that the doctors told me. So like a year and a half after I got clean, I just started gaining weight out of nowhere. Nothing had changed in my routine. Nothing had really changed in my diet. I was like socially drinking with friends, but nothing like super crazy to where I would be just packing on as much weight as I did. And so I kind of started taking a look at it then, but then from there, I went on to work for a tech company, and that's where I'll pick up tomorrow. I'm gonna finish this walk because it's starting to suck. It's fucking hot, I'm sweaty. Holler at your boy. Let's get it. What's going on, guys? Wrapping up day 4. Good day. Got some good work done. Got a decent workout in at the gym. Lost followers, which is hilarious. Went from 10.2 thousand to now I'm somewhere in the 10.1 thousand followers on Instagram area. But today's weigh-in was at 235.6, 3.8 pounds down from yesterday. Hit leg day at the gym today. Didn't go super heavy on the leg day because I've learned my lesson. Made my video when I was doing my ruck with the weighted vest. And one of the things that I didn't touch on is, with my addiction, and this is even having gone through addiction, I don't necessarily think addiction is a disease. I think it's a lack of discipline, because I do think there are some like hereditary personality traits that can, maybe make you more inclined to try new things, but a disease, to me, calling it a disease takes away any accountability. And how can you expect someone to truly get over something or fix something or grow if you're giving them an out by blaming it on a disease? I know that's an unpopular opinion. I'll probably catch some shade for that. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit. But I know for me, like I wasn't going like, oh yeah, it's a disease, fuck, poor me. No, I was like, I made the choice to try those drugs, get in that situation, and it was up to me to get myself out, and I did. And I never looked back. Even when I first got over the opiates and all that stuff, I didn't smoke weed or drink or anything like that for years, and then, or probably like a year and a half, 2 years. And then once I kind of got to a point where I was comfortable, I decided to test it and like, let's see if I could have some beers with the boys and see what happens. And I had some beer, and the next morning I woke up and I wasn't like, oh fuck, I gotta get another drink or something like that. So I kind of knew that as long as I can keep my mindset in the right spot, that it wouldn't necessarily be an issue. But yeah, today's readings in Endure by Cameron Haynes. Solid book. Solid dude. This guy's fucking awesome. Couple things that resonated with me. Greatness only comes with grinding it out. Striving for perfection means you have to put everything you have into your dreams. It was time to become truly obsessed. Got to obsess over this shit. And then, where's the other one? I got to start just fucking marking it in here. I'm an idiot. I'll mark it next time. Anyways, yeah, we're going to get after it. Tomorrow's a new day, day 5. Gonna hit, it's either a push day or pull day, can't remember. But I'll see you guys then. Let's get it.